was 14. I was in a band and we did a bunch of covers and stuff, and there was this competition called Play It Strange, which is a songwriting competition, which was really, really awesome and a great opportunity, and I didn't realise how great of an opportunity that was at the time. But yeah, so my band wrote a song, and then yeah, we entered it in and it placed, and so we recorded it, and then yeah, I just kind of kept it up and just kept practicing my craft. I don't know how I haven't been doing it my whole life. Sometimes I've expressed, oh my god, and I'm nervous or I'm sweaty or whatever, but I feel like I grew up doing musical theatre, so I'm always, and doing dance competitively, so I've always been on stage. I think what the difference was that I'm not playing a character or doing anything rehearsed too much. And I'm just being myself and singing the songs that I wrote, and that's what was really scary for me. And so when I was first getting into performing my own music with my band, I thought I was moving around so much, and then I'd watch back the videos and I'd be like so still. And I think after I broke out of that shell and realized I look a lot cooler when I'm moving around and dancing and stuff, I just have a better time and I feel less nervous. But I feel nervous before every show, literally every show. I love the moment when like I feel like I'm onto something. Like I'm kind of like, you know, bouncing ideas, got the chords on a loop, and then like that kind of like initial like, okay, like this is what the song is, this is what it's about, this is what it's gonna be. Like it's like I'm just like reaching high enough and then I just grab the song. Yeah, I love writing. I think it's just so great, so great. Yeah, I write about everything that I go through, and it is kind of enlightening to see what I'm writing about and being like, oh yeah, I am feeling this way.
I don't think that people really choose music as much as music chooses people. I was definitely more inspired by novelists and authors to begin with, and I used to write novels as a child, which, yeah, I don't think those will be coming out anytime soon. No, I kind of discovered more like Taylor Swift-esque kind of vibes when I was about 7 or 8, but I think I've always been writing since I was like very young. I definitely like writing the most. I stick to the more indie folk, indie pop kind of vibe because it relies so much on the instrument rather than the production. I love performing, but it's not the same as quite bearing your soul and writing music. I definitely focus my writing on emotion rather than an experience. There is a lot of sadness in my music, and there's a lot of extreme versions of emotions, but it more talks about how things aren't what they seem on the surface, and that a feeling is always multifaceted.
I chose to pursue music because I've seen how music brings people together in the past, and that was really magical to me. Like, I want to be able to take that for myself and, you know, give it to the world and just create and bring people together and allow people to learn. My favorite part of creating is just being able to take some tools, my brain, put them together and just make something magical with emotion and intensity and values out of nothing. I like to focus on writing stuff that's more political nowadays, and kind of, I guess, problems that everyone can relate to try and raise awareness about them and help people understand more about themselves and help me understand more about myself. Going into year 12, it's been pretty difficult to make music consistently because it's just so much workload. It's like a whole full-time job of music and then a whole full-time job of school. That's just not possible. As well as that, school, it stresses you out, and when you're stressed, it's very hard to be creative.
I think there's definitely a lot of expectation around success at school. Sometimes you have to make a choice between your schoolwork or your art, and I feel like there's a lot of people inside academic systems who don't see art as a viable career.
I do have doubts in like my music career. As school is coming to an end, there's more and more questions about how hard it's going to be a musician in the future full-time and whether it's actually going to work. And I've talked to lots of other musicians that have had full-time jobs in the music industry, and all of them say it's a pretty tough job.
There's a quote out there about how artists are really selfish people because we truly think that our emotions are important enough to be shared. And there is an element of whether or not your success is defined by who you are able to become rather than who you actually are. As a young person and as a musician in New Zealand, like, it's harder to push, definitely. There's a very specific kind of music scene in New Zealand that thrives, and I don't find myself really falling into that category.
I think being in the New Zealand industry is actually really great. I think because we're a smaller country, we get more opportunities that other countries won't have. Like, the funding in New Zealand it could be better, but it's really great. It's easier to be known in New Zealand because we're smaller. And in terms of gaining an audience and putting your music out there, you can do that solely on your own, and I think that's really, really cool. But it's also like a lot of pressure.
I would say to my younger self that she should keep doing what she wants to be doing, and that there's no shame in pursuing something that you haven't seen anyone else do. And there's also so many different paths, and that it doesn't have to be one style to suit all.
Keep on pushing through, keep on enjoying, and don't pressure yourself too much because it can get a lot.
Find it in yourself to just take a deep breath and know that there's time and it's not a race. Just do your thing, you know? Just commit yourself to it.